Welcome back to season 14 of SBL. This season we are gonna go play in almost any ability Ubers, so it's literally just go kill. Iron Moth go kill, Brute Bonnet go kill, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So this is sort of a week 0 review. So draft and other stuff that's happened in the scene. We have 5 rookies this season, so good luck to all of you. You're coming in with one of the easiest seasons in my opinion to learn and pilot in, so I think you're all gonna have a bit of fun. This is my second season, so it's not like I'm not a rookie, but I have an incredible amount of time on my hands, so I've just given myself the responsibility of documenting, I guess, everyone's journey. So what we've done is we've got, thanks to Alex for providing this to me, a list of trades that have happened pre-week 1. So I think this is the busiest week 0 we've ever seen, according to some of the more experienced players. But yeah, we're just going to go through these really quickly. I'll go over my team because I missed that in the draft reviews when I did them. And then just because I had time, I made like a power ranking elo system, and that will be at the end. So yeah, cool. So most of these I think were actual Pokemon trades. The first 7 are all mulligans, and yeah, it all makes sense. Like Brute Bonnet in for Vigoroth, pretty good. Nick getting 2 mons for Milotic. I don't understand that, but I guess he has a plan. Maybe he wanted poison coverage. I think Conkeldurr is just a upgrade over Knuckle Stack. But this one's a bit weird. Cutiefly in over Shiftry. Shiftry is default, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but maybe you're planning something, so good luck. Gyarados over Magmortar, really good as well. Quagsire over Persian Alola. I don't like this one, just because I reckon Persian Alola could have been a Diet Grimmsnarl if you give it Prankster. It's got Parting Shot, so... And it's also like quite fast already, so... I don't know what's going on here. And then my trade here, I was never going to use Flygon, and Electivire was running joke between me and Marvin. And I felt bad for not drafting Pawmot after I did pick him initially. So, I just took Pawmot. And then this is, I think, one of the bigger trades of week 0. Screamtail for Necrozma. The only team trade we have, and I don't know why Beyond agreed to this. You're giving Alex Screamtail. Come on. That's not fair. And then the rest of them really, just... ability trades or free agency trades. The second one, my one there is I didn't have a rapid spinner, so I got Cinchino. So let's look a bit closer at my actual team, because I didn't do an analysis of my team. So I think let's do it. Alright, so since I analyzed everyone else's team, but I didn't do mine, it's only fair that other people have this information as well. So okay, look, I'm not gonna fucking go too into it, because I don't want to give away my strategies, but yes, you all deserve this. So let's start with the Moth, my big pick. This is the only Pokemon that I planned. This is the only one I wanted. Everything else was based on vibes. So big special attacks with Hadron Engine, and then I think it's a waste giving it bloody Desolate Land, because then you lose a user. So gave it Beads of Ruin. Probably never gonna use it. Probably gonna have to change it sometime. Cool. And then I was like, you know what? Raikou, cool. Fuck me. So gave it Primordial Sea, because weather control, and Pixelate, because it gets extreme speed, so you already know what's gonna go on there. Poltegeist, I have it for this week, but then it's gone, and Chestnut comes in. Size Surge was for Expanding Force and very, very Shell Smash stuff. The typical shit. I'm a terrible builder, so when I draft my Pokemon, I'm like, okay, what do I have to put the least amount of effort into, and what gives me the most output? So yes, that thing. Empoleon, like a defensive pivot, giving Volt Absorb and Earth Eater, so you can get rid of one of its super effective weaknesses. Tornadus, Serene Grace is because it gets Hurricane and Bleak Wind Storm, stuff like that. So, and basically you can abuse other people's weather Toxapex, pretty normal corrosion set. Yeah. So just toxic steel types. Yep, that was my thought process. Now, I didn't have Pomot in my original draft, but then I felt really bad for not picking Pomot over the teacup. So I picked Pomot. Tough Claws because everything this guy has is a fucking contact move, and you give it magnet and it becomes deadly. Yuxi is my like defensive core, so prankster, screens, running it back with Grimmsnarl pretty much. Then Typhlosion H, Sleeper Pick, Desolate Land. You already know what's gonna happen there. It's also really fast, so my team relies on being quite fast and just that's beating you. And then Chinchino again, late pick because it didn't have a fucking rapid spinner, so I gave it Regenerate. I don't know what I was doing, but yeah, that's a little bit of a team breakdown. And then for week 2, I also have Chestnut coming in, and the teacup is obviously leaving, so we can. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm going to quickly go through how the power ranking system program works. I'll try not to take too much of your time. I've done this about 6 times already. Every video has gone past 5 minutes, and you just think that's like not worth like listening to. So basically what we have to do is we have to quantify your game first, and then I found that the stats that you could best use to mostly quantify your game is your kills, your deaths, your damage taken, your damage dealt. Thank you, Nick, for telling me this exists, because before this, I was taking every replay individually and putting it through my code, and it was just a fucking mess. So thank you to Nick. This has made my life a lot easier. And then, yeah, I will just take these scores and we'll plug them into a different format, which the computer can read, and then the computer will start doing what it needs to do. So the computer, all it does is it gives you a score for these 2 metrics here, result and resource efficiency. So these are the quantitative aspects of your game. So result is obviously win or loss. Did you win? Did you lose? The winner is awarded 4 points, and the loser is awarded points based on how badly they lost, pretty much. If it was a close game, the loser will still get a substantial number of this score, but if it was like a blowout, you don't expect to get a good score there. Resource efficiency, easiest way I can put it is damage in versus damage out. Were you good at conserving your health while also taking as much HP away from the other person as possible? So it values high HP taken and low HP dealt, pretty much. That's all it is, really. And yeah, these are calculated by the stats I showed you before from here, and the computer spits out a score, which I'll show you here. So these scores that you get are solely based off those stats. The other 5 metrics are ones that the human, or me in this case, will be putting in for each game. So I'm going to analyze the game, I'm going to have chats about it with other people if I need to, and I'll be giving you a score out of 5. Now, you can see here that 2 of these are weighted a lot more than the other 3, and that's because these are the tangible aspects of your game: your decision quality and your risk management. How well did you make your moves, and how well did you navigate the fact that sometimes you may have to click Focus Blast and you're going to have to pray it hits, but sometimes it's better to switch than do that. So how well did you actually understand your risk and played the game to that? Now the other 3, they're a bit more intangible, so it's more like your intuition, knowing when to switch, knowing when to sacrifice. Positional discipline has to do with how you in this tier obviously has to do with how you control the weather, how you control the terrain, and how you control your abilities as well. And then finally, the games, you have to obviously go to team builder, because the game starts and build, it doesn't start when you click challenge. So creative sets I will be awarding a lot more. Creative sets that don't work will be awarded less, because obviously it didn't work. Yeah, so this is solely based off how well you prepped. A detailed go into is written here. I don't expect any of you to read this, but it's there if you want to. It's just something I thought I should put there for transparency's sake. The final thing is a perceived strength adjustment. So I don't want to not reward people who play well above their expected level. What I mean by that is, say you have not having the best of the season, but you decide to lock the fuck in for one game. You should not be penalized based off the fact that you've had a terrible season. So what this does is it tries to normalize that by using your ELO, which is another metric we're using this season. It just works the same as Showdown. So you win, you gain ELO, you lose ELO, same as that. And what this does is it adjusts your score based on how strong your opponent is versus you. So if you are the underdog and you win, you're going to get a big power ranking boost because you weren't meant to win. Similarly, if you're the underdog and you lose, you won't get as big of a difference to your power ranking as, say, someone who was like closer to you and they lost. So yeah, that's essentially how the system works. This is just an output of what it looks like on my screen while I'm inputting your scores for you. And then it'll plop these scores out and then just divide it by 100 and give you your power rating.